Hello, everyone, and welcome to my latest edition of YouTube Live. My name is David Hittle. I am a realtor with United Real Estate Louisville, and I am very happy and very pleased to be here again with you doing another YouTube Live. This week, we are going to talk about down payment assistance programs. And there are multiple down payment assistance programs throughout the country. Normally, they are designed for lower to moderate income households to promote home ownership. So, my own personal story, I would not have been able to purchase my home were it not for the down payment assistance program here in Kentucky. I was 27. I was moving out of my parents' house after college and after other schooling, and I wanted to purchase my own home. My parents had rented before in their lives, and I saw how difficult that was. How you were always having to move, how your rent was constantly going up or going up and up and up and never went down magically. Uh, Typically, your rent to your landlord never decreases. It is always on the increase. So I saw that from my parents' perspective, and I told myself way back then that I never wanted to rent. I wanted to own my home when I was ready to move out of my parents' home. So that's what I did. At 27, I found a home that was still close to my parents, still close to my grandparents, still relative. It's in the community, in the area we live, but it was not my parents' home. So at 27, I moved out, bought my own home, and were it not for the Kentucky Down Payment Assistance Program and a great lender named Kathy Graham with Caliber Home Loans that knew what I needed, who was a great lender, I would not have been able to purchase my first home, and maybe, hopefully, possibly will be an investment home that I will eventually rent to someone else. But today we are going to talk about how down payment assistance opens the door to home ownership. And again, there are down payment assistance type programs in every state. You can just search your particular state and down payment assistance programs, and they should pop up. But what down payment assistance is it is a program that is that is available to promote home ownership amongst lower income people and moderate income people. Many people are eager to buy a home right now, while affordability continues to be a highlight of the current housing market. However, a recent survey by Sparks Research shows that 20% of first-time home buyers cite a lack of financial education as a barrier to home ownership. And that's not a good excuse. Your lack, or these 20% of first-time home buyers' lack of financial education, is not an excuse for why they shouldn't purchase a home. It's common. Everybody knows a realtor, whether they admit it or not, whether they know it off the top of their head or not. Most everyone will know a realtor. And if you don't know a realtor, you know me, because I'm a realtor. And if you're watching this video, then you obviously know me, or you have just discovered me and just discovered that I'm a realtor. However, that financial education should never be a barrier. In this age of Google, in this age of YouTube, in this age of communication, anyone can find anything and they can research anything. But when you start to plan for something, such as the largest purchase that you'll ever have in your entire life, your home. For most people, the biggest purchase they will ever make in their lifetimes is their home. So when you start to plan for those things, you should start to research those things. However, even if you don't research those things, when you start down that process, when you start down that road, then there are people along the way who, if they are working for you and not working with you, then they should be able to promote those things. They should be able to turn you towards that direction. That's what Kathy Graham at Caliber Home Loans did for me. So, as a realtor, if I have a client that lacks financial education and they are willing to admit that, then I am able to then say to their lender, because the buyer chooses their lender, and if they ask me my opinion, I say Kathy Graham with Caliber Home Loans, because I trust her to do what is right for my client. So in that aspect, I would say, okay, get with Kathy, or even me. I will text Kathy and say, hey, so-and-so is looking at down payment assistance programs. Can you help them out? And she, of course, will, because both her and I work for you. We don't work with you. We work for you. So if you don't feel comfortable with the financial process of buying a home, it's hard to make a confident decision. Again, purchasing a home, the purchase of your home is the largest purchase a person will make, especially at the beginning of their lifetime. The average first-time home buyer right now is 32 years old. I beat that by, 5 years. But today's first-time home buyer average age is 32 years old, and their average purchase price is $190,000. That's only $60,000 from $250,000. Now, when I was growing up, when I was young, when I was 27, $250,000 was a lot of money. For me, when I was growing up, when I was 27, $100,000 was a lot of money. And my home didn't cost $100,000, thankfully. In fact, 4 in 5 home buyers, 4 in 5, so 4 out of 5 home buyers say they need help to understand what they can even afford in the first place. This is why I continue to say the first thing that you need to do when you have decided to purchase a home, when you are starting the planning process, when you are within 2 years of purchasing a home, you need to contact your realtor. Contact someone who you trust. Don't be afraid that you are going to be wasting their time. Because if you are friends with them, you are not wasting their time. This is what they do for a living. You are helping them. You're helping me. When you allow me to help you, I am learning right alongside you. Kathy Graham with Caliber Home Loans. I've talked about her before. She's been in the business for over 25 years doing home mortgages. There are still things she is learning all these years later, and things change like that. When you're talking about buying a home, you're talking about a lot of government regulation, a lot of government red tape, especially when you're thinking about purchasing a home using a loan. You're talking about government approval, government guarantees, a lot of stuff changes. And again, so 4 and 5 need to know what they can even afford. That is your pre-approval. When I went to buy my first home, when I went to buy this home at 27 years old, Kathy Graham was my lender, and I sent her all the stuff that she needed to get me pre-approved. I was pre-approved for $75,000. That was the most I wanted to be pre-approved for. She told me I could go higher if I wanted to. But I had already calculated using the internet, I had already calculated what a $75,000 home would cost me every month. And that was my limit. And that's what I stuck to. I did not look at any home that was over $75,000 back when I was 27. And that's one way to keep yourself on track. On top of that, the same survey reports over 2/3, so over 66% of prospective home buyers believe they'll need assistance to save enough for a down payment. And it's very common. Your very first home, you probably haven't been thinking about it for a long time. Now, don't get me wrong. I have one client, only one, but I have one client who is younger than I, who has saved for this very moment. He has saved to buy a home. I wish I was that financially stable when I was his age, but I digress. 66% of prospective home buyers believe they'll need assistance to save enough for a down payment. What they may not realize is that there are a lot of down payment assistance programs at the state and regional levels, and many of them have funds available for potential buyers. Imagine that. Down Payment Assistance Resources recently released its Q3 2020 Home Ownership Program Index. The number of total programs is 2,340, and over 81% of programs, 81.1% to be exact, of programs currently have funds available for eligible home buyers. Imagine that. So 2,340 programs out there nationally, 81.1% of them have funds available for eligible home buyers. But down payment assistance programs are not only for first-time home buyers. Keep that in mind. These programs are not just for first-time home buyers. There are some that are just for first-time home buyers, but there are others that are not. So it's worth exploring your options no matter where you are in your home ownership journey. For example, if you are working from home now, you may be thinking of relocating to a more affordable area where you can stretch your dollar further and have more space. One of the agents in my office had a client coming from San Francisco and was coming here to Louisville, to the Louisville area, and had sold their house over there. I don't even know what the number was. It was over $400,000. I know that. And was coming here to Louisville to figure out what they could afford here. And they had that $400,000, over $400,000 because they had saved too. $400,000 in San Francisco versus $400,000 here in Louisville, Kentucky is a huge difference. You're talking maybe a studio, maybe a 2-bedroom home in San Francisco, maybe townhome, maybe duplex for $400,000 in San Francisco, if you're lucky, compared to what I would consider a mansion almost here in Louisville and the surrounding area. Lawrence Yun, the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, explains that rural areas have mortgages too, USDA loans. We've talked about it here on YouTube. You can go and find that video of my illustration of USDA loans that don't require down payments. And some workers can work from home, may want to consider outer suburbs or small towns where USDA home loans are available and where homes are very affordable. So think about that. You may have saved for a little while for a down payment on a home, but if you move out to one of those rural areas or the outer suburbs or a smaller town that's USDA eligible, you may be able to purchase a home with no down payment and use that money you saved to either upgrade the home. Maybe you're able to increase your purchase price a little bit because you're going to be able to, you may be pre-approved for 150, but if you've saved 20,000 and you don't have to do a down payment, you may be able to go to a $170,000 home. If affordability is on your mind and you are expecting to be working from home long term, the right home may be in an area you haven't considered yet. In addition, the assistance program you need might be within reach too. If you are interested in learning more about down payments assistance programs, additional information is available through Down Payment Resource, and I'll put that in the comments here. I'll put it in the description of the video after I've finished it here. Your real estate advisor can help you decide which option is best for you personally. Imagine that. I can help too. So the bottom line in this is, thanks to a range of down payment assistance programs, affordable options are out there for today's hopeful home buyers. It's important to get the financial education you need to understand the home buying process and accomplish your real estate goals. Let's connect today to get you started on the path to your dream home. And if you are interested here in Kentucky and you are interested in down payment assistance programs, you can go to KY Housing, HOUSING.org, and you will go to the top where it says home buyers here at the top, Housing Corporation. So what they are basically the lender if you go with a down payment assistance type loan. Then they buy the loan from your lender, and you are able to have that loan through them. If you do go to that website, kyhousing.org, scroll down to where it says home buyers. You've got home buyers education, approved lenders, KHC top lenders, home buyer tax credit, and the loan and down payment assistance programs. And the loan and down payment assistance programs is what we were speaking about here today. So again, if you are interested in that, if you are just interested in buying your first home or maybe a second home, I want to get you out of paying rent, Because when you pay rent, you are paying your landlord's mortgage. You are paying someone else's mortgage. Now, if you are unable to purchase a home because of credit, because of debt, because of any of that, I can understand where you may need to rent until you're able to save enough or until you are able to get your credit to where it needs to be in order to purchase a home. But don't be stuck there. I have clients that have been renting their entire lives. Don't get stuck there because you are paying out that money every month, and every year it goes up a little bit or a lot of bit, and you're stuck there and you don't see an alternative. There is an alternative. With the right process, you can purchase a home. And there are programs there, and there are realtors here that are willing to help you with that process. So again, my name is David Hittle. I am a realtor with United Real Estate Louisville. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up. That way we can rank higher on YouTube. And if you'd like to visit my website is the same as it's always been, Shopkentuckyhomes.com. And until next week, I thank you so much for watching these videos. I hope that they are educational. Until next week, I thank you and have a great day and happy November. Welcome to November.